Boy, oh boy, Patrick's been a busy boy. Um, a friend of mine, actually, unbeknownst to me, and he doesn't follow Patrick. Apparently, she likes this Mark Pellegrino guy. I know him from what's it called? There was that movie or TV show. He played the devil or whatever. He's like a character actor. He's done a bunch of stuff. So clearly, this guy looks like a Nazi because he dared say that, you know, beating up people in the streets and committing political violence is not really a good idea, and it's not very conducive to our basic ideals of free speech and all. And of course, Patrick chimes in, buddy, we tried that shit about 80 years ago. No, you don't persuade Nazis. You don't beat their ideas. You don't allow their ideas to exist because their ideas end up with millions of innocent people killed. But yes, it's like maintaining the rule of law. Yeah, reason over violence. What do you know? Maybe not having roving bands of people committing political violence is a good idea because mainly that's what happened with the Wehrmacht Republic in Germany, where you had bands of communists and bands of right-wing nationalists all having brutal, drawn-out fights in the streets, killing a bunch of people and everything, which eventually led to the rise of the Nazis. But I digress. But Patrick kept going after this guy, and he was like, "Yeah, you want to talk about it? We could have a debate." And of course, Patrick decides to instead start talking shit, and the guy reads up on Patrick, I guess, and then he ends up getting blocked by Patrick, and of course, Patrick takes this as a massive win, and a bunch of people are making fun of Patrick. Um, I personally take a very, very dim view on folks that advocate political violence, whether you're left or you're right. Um, I don't agree with it. I legitimately don't agree with it. And I certainly don't agree with restricting freedom of speech, things like this. It's funny to me. I could totally see Patrick be one of those folks that is all for like red flag laws when it comes to firearm rights. I could totally see Patrick being informed or for those kind of restrictions, completely oblivious to the fact that like if there was any kind of red flag law in Minnesota, Patrick would lose his firearm rights overnight. He would absolutely lose them. This is a guy that has made videos of him playing with his guns. He, on a daily basis makes verbal threats, written threats to people online, and so on. This guy, he's divorced. He's been arrested for threatening acts of violence against his wife and his unborn child. He's unemployed. I mean, all these different things add up to a whole slew of red flags. And he would be the kind of guy that would advocate for this. And then when, of course, it bites him in the ass, he would probably respond with, "It's the dirty trolls. Why'd they do this to me?" And it's like, well, no, come on, dude. Stop for a moment and think. It's the same kind of thing with his advocacy for restricting people's political views on the threat of violence if their political views don't align it with him. Because to be fair, Patrick probably doesn't know what a Nazi is or a fascist is. Patrick probably can't find Germany on a map, even though I think he's supposedly been there before. Um, Patrick's just really, really stupid. So for a lot of these folks that are this stupid, fascist just means anyone that doesn't believe or doesn't agree with me, kind of thing. That's their definition. And so this just becomes an eye for an eye kind of situation until eventually no one's allowed to say or do anything because everyone's offended and everyone's under threat of physical violence and so on. It's so stupid. And if you really stop and think about it, like where does it end? Like Patrick doesn't want people to have right wing or Nazi views, right? How far do we carry this? Do we carry that over to their family? Are we allowed to beat up their families? What about a librarian who the library has a copy of Mein Kampf? Should we beat the crap out of him or her because that book is available for someone to read and check out? Should we burn the book? Should we burn the Library of Congress because the Library of Congress has Triumph of the Will as a historically important piece of cinema despite its horrific content, or the subject matter, I should say. Hell, they even have Birth of a Nation. Maybe we should destroy all the information in the Library of Congress just for that. It's Patrick is like, I was just flipping through this and I'm just like, oh my goodness. Don't pretend you've ever read a book, child. Patrick, I've read so many of your tweets, and there are, case in point, come on, Patty Cake, let's get it on. It already got on and left the terminal. What? It already got on. This is literally a professional writer, folks. I'm kidding. He hasn't written anything, God knows how long, besides tweets. But it's just like, I don't know. You read some, Patrick is just, he's a professional rake stepper. He steps on the rakes and slaps them in his face. Uh-oh. He's doing home improvement. I just hope he doesn't salt the earth again to prevent weeds, or installs his, did he install a fence backwards or something, and then he got, like, in trouble with the city. This is what I think, Pat, like, Pat should totally, Pat, I was going to say, hey, Patrick, you're writing something. No, he's not writing something. It's somebody else. I always think that Patrick, I really do think that Patrick should just like go with it, accept it, and he should just like start doing a live stream or something where he tries to like do different Pat personas. Like, hey, this is Pat's Fix It Hour, and like Pat just tries to fix things around the house, or like, hey, this is Pat's military talk, and he stupidly says things about the Ukraine-Russia war that are way over his head. He doesn't know what he's talking about, kind of thing. Like, I think that would be fun. And then he, for like the last 15, 20 minutes of every episode, he just takes super chats where people just make fun of him, like a monkey in a cage. He would make so much money. He wouldn't owe people money all the time. He'd actually start bringing in money. Maybe he could save his marriage. I don't know if his marriage is on the rock, but I would imagine it would be. Hmm. Oh boy, this is a lot of tweets. How many tweets has he done in the last? Let's see. You got to go to replies to really take in all the Pat tweets. Because if you just go by his tweets, you don't get them all. Wait a minute. Spoilers. Good tip. Thanks. Wrong is on. It took 4 tweets before it's stalker, and then another stalker, and then a third stalker. Stalker, 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 stalker. All of these within the hour. Stalker, stalker, stalker. 2 hours, stalker. Joy, stalker, stalker. Leave no stalker behind. It's a brilliant. He's such an angry dude. I really think if Patrick like read a book, he'd probably enjoy it if he ever tried to. I don't know. I've only read like one chapter of his one book, and you can kind of tell that Patrick doesn't read. And I know there are people out there like, how are you an author if you don't read? There are people that are like that. It's just like there are people that try to do like TV shows and they don't brush their teeth. Yeah, Patrick must be so proud of this because he had so many updates. He had 3 hearts. Good for Patrick. That's the funny thing about Patrick is, oh, that was a good one for you, Patrick. You went after Tucker Carlson. This probably gave him an erection. He probably was so happy with that. And that's the crazy thing. He's like, he either needs the upvotes or he needs people shitting on him, but he needs that attention because the guy's an addict. It's pathetic and sad. Very pathetic and sad. Golly, I still haven't gotten past 24 hours. Does this guy sleep? Dear Lord. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. I can honestly say, no, I don't know if I could say that. I was going to say, I was going to about to make the argument that like my level of drinking wasn't as bad as Patrick's level of addiction to the internet. Although my drinking was really out of control. Although I did hold a job, or the same job I currently have, so I was gainfully employed. Um, I also wasn't encouraging people to swap me constantly, and I also wasn't getting into like raging, screaming matches on the internet with just random people who make the mistake of bumping into me online. So I guess maybe my drinking wasn't so bad. I don't know. I do believe Patrick needs to go to rehab though for this, and I don't think it'll ever happen. Which honestly is a bit of a shame because, frankly, until he gets treatment for this, Patrick doesn't really have the best impulse control or decision making. Like, I'll be honest with you, and I'm not trying to like make a joke really. Like, I would not be surprised if like it came out like Patrick just snaps one day and just like starts shooting at random people or something. Because he comes off as a really angry dude. We know he's armed because God knows he loves to make videos of himself playing with his stupid guns. I say this as a gun owner. The people that don't shut up about guns and they try to intimidate people because you own a gun, especially when it's about something online like the internet. Oh my God, you're so cringe. You're just so just pathetic. But I digress. I'm rambling. You can't tell. I've had some antihistamine medicine, and that always kind of gets me a little wired up. So I'm probably gonna change and go run for a while, get some exercise in while the weather's still good. I don't know about your neck of the woods, but it's really weird here. Very, very windy. I guess it's not too weird. It is, was it May? So in May, supposed to be windy at the beginning. Coming. No, wait, that's March. I was gonna say coming in like a lion, leave like a lamb. Isn't that March? Why is it windy now? I don't know. Anyway, y'all take care. Take care of each other. Ciao.